Hello and welcome to the Retirement Money Show. So today we're looking at what I think is a very important and interesting topic, and that is whether equity release can really fund your retirement. Now, according to the ONS Wealth and Assets Survey, around 40% of household wealth in the UK is actually locked up in property. Now, that's a staggering amount of money that most people can't actually get their hands on and spend. So it's no wonder that more and more retirees are looking at their home and thinking, is that my pension? Now, get this wrong and you could end up with debt that doubles every 12 years, eating into everything that you plan to leave behind. Now, the equity release market grew 11% last year, with the average release hitting about £123,000. Now, most people don't actually always understand the true cost of equity release until it's too late. So, if you're a homeowner aged 55 or over with a DC pension and you're wondering whether your home could top up your retirement income, this video is going to be for you. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover what actually equity release is, the compound interest trap that catches people out, and who it is really for, as well as the alternatives that I see people often miss. And at the end, I'll give you a decision framework to test whether it's right for you. And I think this is one of the most important topics in retirement planning right now. So by the end of the video, you'll know exactly how equity release works, what it really costs, and whether it makes sense for your situation. But do make sure you stay to the end, because there's something that most people miss completely and it changes everything, and I'm going to share that. We're also going to look at a cheaper alternative that people often tend to miss. Now, here's why that matters, because it could save you tens of thousands of pounds. So my name's Saki Hussain. I've got over 25 years experience of helping people plan for their retirement. So let's start by going back to basics. What is equity release and how does it actually work? Well, in simple terms, it lets you borrow money against the value of your home without you having to move out. The most common type is called a lifetime mortgage. That's the industry term for a long-term loan secured against your property. And it's generally available to homeowners that are aged 55 and over, and you don't have to make any monthly payment. So instead, what happens is that the interest rolls up, and what that means is it gets added to what you owe month after month, year after year. So the loan plus all that rolled up interest gets paid back when you die or you move into long-term care. And when that happens, your home is usually sold to clear the debt. Now, here's an important protection. If you go with the provider who is a member of the Equity Release Council, you get what is called a no negative equity guarantee. So what does that mean? Well, drawdown means you take an initial amount and keep a reserve to dip into later. So you only pay interest on what you've actually taken. That's a really important point because it can reduce the cost quite a lot. And in my experience, most people don't realise that they have that option. That means you'll never owe more than what your home is worth when it is sold. So your family won't be left with any debt to pay. And you can take the money as a lump sum, or you can use what's called a drawdown facility. Now, around 55% of customers last year chose drawdown over a lump sum, and that number is probably likely to grow in my experience and talking to people that are considering this. Now, the money that you release is tax-free, which is another reason why people find it a tax crib. But tax-free doesn't mean cost-free, and that's where the next slide comes in. But for me, this can often be the scary part of equity release. So the compound interest trap is where most people, I think, get caught out when they do take out equity release. So with a normal mortgage, you pay interest every month, so the debt stays roughly the same or it starts to go down. However, with a lifetime mortgage, the interest gets added to the loan, as I explained earlier on, and then you pay interest on the interest. And that's what compound interest means in plain English. It's basically your debt grows on top of itself. So let me show you what that looks like with real numbers. So imagine you borrow £50,000 at an interest rate of around 6% and you don't make any payment. After 12 years, that £50,000 has roughly doubled to £100,000. And after 15 years, it's grown to around £113,000. So if you borrow £50,000 and make no payment, your debt can grow to just over £113 in just 15 years. And after 25 years, which is a realistic time frame, if you take equity release at £60,000, you could owe over £200,000. So based on a £50,000 initial borrowing, that's 4 times what you originally borrowed. Now, some people say the house price will go up and that should cover the difference. Well, that won't always be the case. The industry calls this decumulation of housing wealth. So in plain terms, what that means is that your home is being used up to pay a growing debt. And this is where I'd call a form of guaranteed erosion. The same opinion I have about cash sitting in savings accounts losing value to inflation. With equity release, that erosion is even faster because compound interest is actively working against you. Now, most modern plans let you make voluntary payments, typically up to 10% of the loan each year without penalties. So what that means is that even small payments can make a big difference over time by stopping the interest from snowballing. But the reality is most people don't make these payments, and that's where the real cost starts to hit. If you are planning your retirement, we've created a really handy checklist for you. So you can go to our website, financialeducation.co.uk, and on there, on the top menu, you'll see a page called Retirement Checklist. If you click that, it will take you to this page, and there where you will find a pre-retirement checklist. So this is a PDF document that you can download called Are You Ready to Retire? And within there, it sets out all the things that you need to be thinking about if you are planning your retirement. And there's 10 areas specifically covered. So within there, as well as you go through, it sets out what you need to do, why it matters and why it's important, and when you need to look at it, which essentially gives you a bit of a blueprint and an action plan for you to follow to make sure that you are fully prepared and ready for your retirement. It's a really handy guide for you to print off and just fill in as you go through. Now, whilst equity release sounds attractive and getting your hands on that money can be a lifeline for you in retirement, the reality is equity release isn't for everyone, and getting this decision wrong can become a very expensive mistake. So let's be clear about who it genuinely helps and who should probably avoid it. Now, it can work well if you're what the industry calls asset rich and cash poor. So what does that mean? Well, that means you own a valuable home, but your pension pot isn't big enough to cover the retirement that you want. Now, the median pension pot for someone aged 55 to 64 is around £138,000 according to the Office of National Statistics. So at a 4% withdrawal rate, that gives you roughly £5,500 a year. So, not exactly a comfortable lifestyle. But if your home is worth £300,000 or more, you've got no other way to bridge that income gap. Equity release becomes a genuine option. It also works for people who need to clear an existing mortgage in retirement. In fact, 26% of equity release customers last year used it specifically to pay off their mortgage. And around 1 in 4 people taking an equity release in 2025 used it to pay off an existing mortgage. Now, that makes sense. Removing a monthly payment can transform your retirement budget. It can also help if you need to fund home adaptations to stay in your house as you get older. Now, if you're likely to need long-term care, equity release can complicate things badly. Now, who should think twice about it? Well, things like stair lifts, wet rooms or ground floor extensions can cost tens of thousands of pounds, and taking a lump sum can affect your entitlement to means-tested benefits like pension credit and council tax reduction. And if you have an equity release plan already on your home, you almost certainly can't get what is called the Deferred Payment Agreement from your council for care costs, but I cover that in a different video. So in my opinion, this is probably the biggest trap. People use equity release and then close the door on cheaper care funding available to them potentially later down the line. That's essentially what I call the care lottery. Those who saved and planned end up in subsidising their own care, while those with nothing will get state support. Now, before you sign up for equity release, there are some alternatives that you need to consider, and they could save you a fortune. The one that almost nobody really fully understands is something that's called the Deferred Payment Agreement, or a DPA. So if you need to go into care home, your council is legally required to offer you a DPA if you qualify. And basically it works like a loan from the council and is secured against your home to pay your care fees. And the interest rate is set by the government and is currently around 4.75%, which is substantially cheaper than many typical equity release rates, which are at the minute around 5.5% to 6.5%. And you can see the difference yourself. Plus, the DPA interest is simple and not compound. What does that mean? well, your debt doesn't grow on top of itself the way it does with equity release, as I explained earlier on in the video. And because the government set the interest rate on a deferred payment agreement, as I said, it's currently around 4.75 compared to 5.5 to 6.5% for most equity release plans. See, the problem is hardly anyone knows that this option exists. When I talk to people about it, they just look at me blankly. So if you've already taken out equity release, the council will almost certainly refuse you a deferred payment agreement because they can't secure a first charge on your property. And selling your home and moving somewhere smaller can release cash without any loan or interest at all. And that's why this matters. Equity release can lock you out a cheaper option later down the line. So another alternative worth considering is downsizing. Yes, I fully accept it can be a big emotional decision, but from a math perspective, it's hard to argue with. Then there's the option of renting out a room under the rent a room scheme, which allows you to earn up to £7,500 a year tax-free. If your pension is small, make sure that you've checked to see whether you qualify for pension credit or attendance allowance. Basically, this is free money that doesn't need to be paid back and it won't cost you a penny in interest. Release should be the last door you open, I think, not the first. So I guess the big question is, how do you actually decide whether equity release is right for your situation? Well, here's a framework that I use when I'm working this through with people. First thing to do is ask yourself, have I exhausted every other option? Have you checked your benefit entitlements? Have you considered downsizing? Have you looked at a retirement interest-only mortgage and spoken to your family? Now, if the answer is no, you're probably not ready for equity release just yet. Second, think about why you need the money. If it's to fund something essential like clearing a mortgage, adapting your home, or bridging an income gap, now for me that is a strong reason. But if it's for something like a holiday or a new car, you need to think very carefully about whether the debt that is going to double every 12 years is genuinely worth it to you. See, the younger you are when you take equity release, the longer the compound interest has to grow. And third, consider your age. See, someone taking at 55 could be looking at 30 years of rolled up interest. And that's a very different picture from someone at 75. And if you take equity release at 55, you could be carrying 30 years of compound interest before the loan is repaid. Fourth, think about care costs. And finally, look at the inheritance picture. See, if there's any chance you're going to need residential care in the future, equity release now could shut the door on a deferred payment agreement. And your children might be counting on that house, or they might not care. But in my experience, the families who avoid conflict are the ones who have this conversation early on. So I would strongly recommend that you do talk to your kids, explain your options, and make that decision together so that everyone is fully aware of what is going to happen. And don't just go with the first provider you see. Shopping around can save you thousands of interest over the life of the loan. If you do decide to go ahead, always use a whole of market advisor who is a member of the equity release council. At the start of the video, I said that there's something that most people miss about equity release, and I'd share it here. Well, see, the real question for me isn't actually whether equity release is good or bad. It's actually whether you've explored what you already have before you borrow against your home. See, most people I work with have options, but they don't even really know about them. That is, unclaimed pension credit, forgotten workplace pensions, attendance allowance, deferred payment agreements. These are all free or low-cost sources of funding, and yet people jump straight to equity release because it sounds simple and the money is tax-free. And the key insight is this: equity release should be a conscious, last resort decision, not a convenient first step. Now, here's something else to think about. If you are considering equity release to help your children, maybe a deposit on the house, think about the timing, because giving 60 at 65 helps them when they're 30 or 35 and they need it most. But a lifetime mortgage taken at 65 could mean the inheritance that they'd get at 90 is a fraction of what you planned, or maybe even nothing at all. So this is what I call strategic gifting, and it's about giving at the right time, not just the right amount. One more thing, if you do go ahead, I also recommend that you do look at using drawdown and not a lump sum, and only take what you need when you need it. Interest only accrues on what you've drawn. So this single choice can potentially save you tens of thousands over 20 years, which is why taking a drawdown rather than a big lump sum can be a cost-effective route. And the other thing, of course, is to review your plan every few years. Now, your circumstances will change through your retirement, but so does the market. So for more information, visit our website at financialeducation.co.uk, where we've got guides on equity release, care funding, and how your property can work for you. And if you do like our content, please do like and subscribe to the channel. And please do share this video with other people who you think could benefit from this content. Finally, good luck and goodbye.